Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
This is the 1st of January 2022 and we don't have to work in the orchard, but
It's Saturday.
our truck was waiting for us. And here you go. In this episode we will show you how we painted the truck, how we built the crawl through. So let's get into it. I'm Jelle.
And I'm Patrick.
Together we are JP Adventures 19. Today we actually want to build the frame for the crawl through. So the frame that's gonna go into this cutout. And it will have an angle attached to it as well. So we're not 100% sure how we're gonna do the crawl through. We might just try to go with the Unigrip stuff that they use for, like, pretty much the same thing they used for our van to connect the box to the cab. And yeah, we're working on that.
Alrighty, so now it's time to weld it all up and then grind it down, make it look pretty. Alright, I'll quickly introduce my new favorite toy and how it's used, how to put it on, and especially what it looks like afterwards. So, these are the Active discs. Well, they're actually pads. You get a backing pad like this. It's pretty much made of like plastic, and yeah, you stick this pad on it, and you get a whole stack of these. They're like about that high. So there's probably about 30 pads in each one, in each pack. And yeah, you stick it on like that. Screw it on your grinder. Just make sure you screw this on properly. Alright, and that means you're ready to go. So, obviously this isn't like a normal grinding disc where you're trying to use this edge. You're trying to keep this as flat as possible. But this rough surface here is really good for just ripping off weld beads. And in the end it looks like a flap disc, pretty much. Like the finish of a flap disc, but it's made for grinding. So, I'll do some grinding on the little frame we just finished, and then I'll show you what it looks like after you reuse this. Alright, I'm going to play this in real time so you see how quick it is, and mind you, this disc is already used, so it's not a like brand new disc that's super long. That's quick, eh? So, see? Finish looks just like that of a flap disc. And the key is, don't press on it. Let the disc actually do the work for you.
And while Patrick is working on our frame for the crawl through, I'm working on the video because we didn't upload any video last week. We just didn't have the time. So yeah, we really want to upload one this Sunday, like a Christmas video, and yeah, I'm trying to get it done as fast as possible. And here is our frame for the crawl through with the angle and everything attached already. Alright, so the frame of the crawl through is done, and now we'll show you how we replace the parts of the windows. We're not using the glass anymore, so we'll cover it with steel and we'll show you how we did it, or how Patrick did it. And also these ones are for sale pretty much. We don't need them anymore, so in case someone's interested, just let us know. As you know, we're in WA.
Alright, so I've cut out these sheets out of 1.6 mil steel sheet that we had left over. And this 100 mil NB pipe actually fits perfectly for the radius of the windows. So I'm just going to put that on here, trace that out, and then cut it out, and then see if it fits. I know I've been beating this into the ground recently, but just another example. This was the same disc that I used 2 days ago to cut out the hole for the crawl through. And with this I also cut the sheets, so I cut these squares out. And now I've used them to cut these radiuses out, which anyone who's used a cutting disc to cut out radiuses knows how harsh it is on the disc. Well, yeah, there's not much missing from even when I used it for the cutout of the crawl through, so can't stress it enough. Quality in the end is worth it, because you know, you spend $1 more on these, but they last you 3 times as long. There you go.
So a little bit annoying, we have a power outage, so uploading our YouTube video is pretty much impossible without power. And also we can't use any power tools, only the ones that are run off batteries, and the batteries, not all of them are full, but luckily we still have the van with fully charged batteries and solar power, and there's lots of sun today. It's just over 40 degrees, so we are charging off our batteries in the van now. And yeah, apparently it's gonna be back in 3 or 4 hours. We'll see. An hour before sunset. These two are super hot as well today, following me, even though I don't even have food. Hey! And Patrick's using all of the battery that we have left to grind down the edges of the welding that he did last night. So apparently it must be something bigger, because now it changed to 9 PM, so we definitely won't have power anymore. Annoying. But our van's still charging in the sun, so we have solar power. The inverter is charging my laptop, and my phone is sitting right here on top of those rotten apples. Creating a hotspot for the laptop, so we are still uploading the YouTube episode. It's at 94%, and the last 2% took only 1 hour. And in the meantime, since we don't have any power, Patrick finally started to put all those parts back on the Mog. Finally, Patrick. Sway bar links, everything. So this is how Patrick is currently putting the Unimog back together. Torches, phone lights, because of the power outage. We have to use what we have.
So early start today. It is going to go on the roof. We're going to do some welding. And we are lucky because there's still no total fire ban here. We keep checking the DFS website,
but we're still careful.
Yeah, we still like wet the area over here, like next to the grass, down with the hose before we start and stuff. Yeah, but
and I'm on top of the roof now. I have to stand on these 2 wooden blocks to push down the roof, and now Patrick's gonna jump in and weld from the inside so that the roof stops noise. And because it's early, it's still not too hot, but it's already hot. Like, it's 8 in the morning and it's just gonna get hotter and hotter. So we'll take a break probably midday and jump into the dam today. Alright, we're done up here. We can't move anymore. It's really fixed to everything. Patrick!
I got my morning workout. My legs are already tired.
Why?
Why don't you try doing squats in there?
I was squatting on the roof. It is 11:30 and we haven't had breakfast yet, so I made us some breakfast.
So Yetta's really grumpy.
So now it's breakfast time, Patrick. Look at you, you are so dirty already. Oh, mini split pin bulldog. We're now taking the door off. This is Moggy without a passenger door. So Patrick's gonna do some welding in there and I will take care of the door so that we can paint it. And I'm now taking the mirrors off because it's easier to paint it without them.
Alright, so took apart the door mechanism, the locking mechanism. So that's just all housed pretty much in there. It's a bit of a pain to get to, especially to get it out. You have to disconnect the unlocking pin here. Just have to pull it out pretty much, and then just kind of wiggle it around the slide for the window. We did this because we're actually going to put in power locking system, so central locking system, for which we're going to use this. So you can see, so when this thing's closed, now it's locked, which means you can't open it. It's open. Now you can open it. So now this opens up. Well, we're going to grease this as well because it's pretty dirty, nasty, and it's going really hard. So that means you probably got to get some of this dirt out and grease it and move it up, and then hopefully it'll run like new. We made it! This is so cool. We love this place. And there are plenty of, what are they called? Red-tailed cockatoos? Cockatoos around here. So they look really pretty and they're beautiful feathers. And now it's time for a swim because it's just so hot. Feeling better now? I am. Now it's time to go back. Well, on the ride back we'll have a little blow dry of my hair. It'll be dry by the time we get back.
Yeah. We're surrounded by so many cockatoos. Cockatoos. And yeah, we want to paint the cab tomorrow, and we might start tonight even when it's cold enough. So that's why we have to keep working. No break for us. Now that we're back up here, we have to check on our charger for our power tools because it overheated. So we put it into the freezer for a little bit. Ta-da! Yeah, it's nice and cold now. So hopefully we can charge our batteries again. Would be really useful. So let's give it a try. Look at this mess. We didn't record much, but we were working all day long. And now all this stuff is ready to get painted. So these are the mounts of the mirrors. This is where it goes into the, like between the snorkel and the air filter. Our mirrors itself, the inside of the doors, and the interior of the cab, because this is still bare steel, the new roof. So Patrick's really excited to do some painting, right?
Yeah, so it's a paint session that's gonna end in the dark again.
Yeah, but we couldn't do it any earlier because of the temperature. Too hot. So we are spraying primer right now. Mirrors are primed, some parts over there are primed already. Good morning, early start today, because it will get too hot. It will be 40 degrees again today. So Patrick managed to finish off the first layer of paint yesterday after spraying some primer. Patrick's done and it does look amazing. We really don't want to, but we have to keep going because apparently we have to start doing thinning again tomorrow, so we'll be working full time. Yay! Good money, but not good for our mug. So the black paint is dry already, and now we prepare the cab to get painted. So the back of the cab still has to get sealed with some Sika just in case, and we have to do all the putty work as well. And yeah, so it's like over 40 degrees and we really don't fancy being in the sun all day, but we don't have a choice. And in the kitchen it's not much better. It's probably even hotter in the kitchen. So we might as well start working again.
So Jette is sanding the imperfections. Just got a new piece of sandpaper, the last of our 80 grit.
And I'm melting.
And she's getting a nice tan on her arms, a good farmer's tan. Because she got a nice sunburn on her back yesterday.
I don't like the tan lines like this.
Alright, come on, show them what you're doing. And I'm gonna do some sanding to get the surface ready for paint today, hopefully. So if anyone wonders what we've been doing the past week, and not really filming too much, this is what we've been up to pretty much for 1 week straight now. Just putting any imperfections on the cab, all the weld seams we did. I mean, we could have recorded all of it for you, but you would have had 2 weeks worth of episodes of just sanding and puttying. So we decided to keep it a bit shorter, show you the more interesting stuff. Jette's being a little baby.
It's hot.
Just kidding. It's really hot out, and Jette is gonna do a little shower time. That's it. That's all. Just to stand up so it drains all the way in your shirt and everything.
We we are taking turns. One person can stay in the shade and the other person has to be up there and sand down the putty. So we are preparing everything that gets painted in the color of the cap. So this is our grill, and this bit of rubber is pretty bad and broken and not nice, so we'll take that off. Look at this one.
Which one?
Are you hiding? Let's go to the dam to cool down. And quick break at the dam again. Let's go for a swim. So beautiful out here next to the orchard.
So we tried the other dam today, and it's a bit more tricky getting out of this one.
Stuck in mud.
Alright, Jelle? Yeah, it's a bit deep, pretty deep mud you stand in. So Jelle is doing rust converter, and now she's swiping it off with terps. All the silicone seams are done, and pretty much we are almost ready to paint, and it's below 35 degrees, so we can actually paint now. But of course the sun's going down.
Good morning, early start today. We found 2 more spots that were rusty right here. There's one, there's the other one. So I'll take care of this now until Patrick's getting up, and then we can actually start painting before it gets hot, because yeah, that's why we had to get up early, otherwise it would be too hot. And this is the last time you'll see the Mog in its original colors, because it's paint time. Look at this. So the spray gun wasn't working properly, so our spraying got delayed and we won't be able to paint it in the morning, but at night when it's colder again. So we're now doing the primer. And just as a tip, so our spray gun was fluttering, so it was like pulsing. The paint wouldn't come out evenly. And so the issue was that the fluid nozzle wasn't tight enough. And so air could get into the fluid tank, and that's not good. So we took it apart, tightened the fluid nozzle properly again, and now it's working, finally. Patrick's happy again. It is still 37 degrees, it's way too hot. So we're trying if we can actually touch our fuel tank, or if it's too hot, and lift it up there so we can measure the band that goes around it. These are the old tank straps, but we had to restore them a bit. So the last piece is completely rusted through, so we welded in another piece that pretty much looks like the original one. And now we're trying to figure out where to place those two, what is it, M16?
12,
M12?
12s, maybe M14.
Yeah,
I'm thinking M12s.
those bolts where we cut off the head. And yeah, now we have to see where to weld them onto the strap.
Okay.
And here we go. Patrick's matching the colors. And let's see if you can spot the difference between the primer and the actual color. Patrick? You happy?
Satisfied.
Look at it. I'll show you the result. It's still wet, so it's gonna look a bit different, but not much. Look at this. It's so much better than camel. So much cleaner and nicer. Yeah. This is it for today. I hope you liked this episode. We are currently doing a lot of small things because we want to get the mog running again. So it's a little bit all over the place in the next few episodes. But we are working on something special. It's about the locking mechanism of our Unimog, and you will see all about it in our next episode. So stay tuned and see you all next week.